Hi my friends, so I normally don't make videos, but I rarely had the urge to make a video about how I actually make money from gambling. This was a session where FanDuel was having a promo of wager $200 and get $20 in free credits, which when you're playing blackjack is the expected value about $19. And so far not doing well. um, but basically all I do is nearly every day, FanDuel or DraftKings has a promo, some casino bonus, of like bet X and get X amount of credits, or it's some deposit bonus. It's like deposit $100 and get $10 of free credits, which those are great because those are risk free. You literally can't lose money if you just bet the amount of free credits they give, and no more. Sometimes they have other stuff like deposit matches and stuff like that, which I don't recommend
Blackjack.
because they're tricky. Normally they're like deposit $100 will match $100 in free credits, but you have to pay 15x or 75x. And if you don't complete the playthrough, you lose all your money, no matter what, even if you have money left. So I don't recommend those. And then they have other promos like bet $100 on slots and get free credits too. Those are okay because they have a positive IV, but I don't like them because slots have a really high variance, so I don't tend to play those unless I really feel like gambling. And I like to do small wagers like these, because with smaller wagers you get less variance, and variance is typically bad. High variance is not good. You typically want low variance if you want to make steady money, or low variance gives you as close to the expected values. So I usually do one or two, and for me it doesn't take as long because like I play through blackjack pretty quick. I know most basic strategies. There are times when I mess up. In this video I actually do mess up quite big a few times, but generally I can play pretty quick, and I can play probably like 100 hands in 15 minutes. This is one where I messed up. You're not supposed to hit on a 3, 10 versus a 4, and I use Wizard of Oz. That's a great site because you literally put in any hand, it will tell you the exact play you need to do and what your odds of each option. And when I was first learning, I literally every single hand I would look up to figure out what the best strategy is to play, because you think you would know, you think it'd be intuitive, but honestly it's more complicated than you thought. And especially with aces, soft versus hard hands, you would, it's more complicated than you think. And perfect strategy is pretty easy, but it's more the aces and stuff that mess you up. Yeah, so basically I just, whenever they have a promo, I always play, I calculate the EVs first, the expected value, and obviously if it's a positive EV I'll play it, which if you are smart like this and wager low, you'll have low variance, and it's basically free money. You should, as long as you're not emotional, because it can be very hard to be completely rational, because even with these promos that they give you, you could still lose a decent amount of money. And for the most part, I keep a spreadsheet of all my wagers, of every promo I played and stuff like that. And there are times where I'll literally be down like $40, $50, sometimes more, even with like a really high expected value. Just the nature of gambling, you can't win. I've literally lost like 20 hands in a row before. That's just variance, you know. No matter what you could do, like even if you flip a coin, you could lose like 50 times in a row. It's like Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it probably will happen at some point. And especially if you play like thousands of hands like I've had, you're gonna get some bad luck eventually, and sometimes you get good luck. I've definitely had sessions like this session actually where it works out pretty well.
Dealer has blackjack.
But I've definitely had my moments before, like I was more of a degenerate gambler. I didn't play low wagers. I would just bet whatever I wanted and gamble to whatever I needed. And I would definitely go overboard if I start to lose, because no matter how rational you can be, once you start losing, you get in a bad mindset. You get very emotional, and you might start chasing losses, which is the worst thing you could do. It's like the gambler's fallacy. No matter how, like, even if you know about the gambler's fallacy, you can fall into it. Like, if you've lost literally like 10 times in a row, you're like, I have to win this next one because this is impossible. How could I lose 10 hands in a row? And so you just have that fallacy. I've lost over $1,000
Blackjack.
in one night of gambling because I got tilted. Nowadays, like, I'm more rational because I do these small bets. If I lose one hand, it's okay. If I lose a few, even it's okay. I just stick to a strategy where I don't vary my bets. Back then, I would vary my bets. Like, if I lost a bet, I would double it. I would martingale. Basically, that's what happened when I lost $1,000. I just come martingale. Normally back then, I would do that frequently. Like, if I lost $50, I'm like, fuck it, I'm betting $100 on this next hand. And back then, it would work out. Martingale works until it doesn't work.
Blackjack.
So basically that night, I just kept martingale. Like, I lost 100, bet $200, deposited more dollars, lost that, just kept going until eventually I ran out of money. I literally did not have enough money, and it was the worst thing ever. But nowadays I don't gamble anymore. I just play for the promos and make free money that way. Because honestly, in the end, you shouldn't gamble. Casinos make a lot of money for a reason. It's because people get emotional and they always have a house edge, so they win on the end. You might make money in the short being, but long term you won't win. That's just how it is. Oh, this is another hand where I messed up, where I should have doubled instead of hitting, but actually it worked out because I would have lost. And that's okay, you know. Every now and then, as
Dealer
long as
has
you
blackjack.
are mostly doing okay with basic strategy, then you'll be fine. And you know, honestly, there's some games that you don't even need to think about it, like how to play and stuff. Like, if you play just Baccarat, that's like the second game when I don't feel like thinking. You literally just click a button. You just pick banker that has the best RTP or return to player. Just literally place it in banker and just
Blackjack.
clicking play, and that's all you need to do. There's no skill, there's no decision making. Whatever happens. And that's literally just coin flip. And so I like blackjack is probably the best game of any casino game for RTP, but Baccarat is good because it has very little variance. It's literally a coin flip whether you're gonna win or not. So that's why I like Baccarat. Sometimes I just like playing because there's low variance. So I most likely won't lose. I have lost a decent amount. Even though it's literally a coin flip. It's still gambling, you know, you can't just win. But yeah, so basically I just do this nearly every night whenever there's a promo. I just, whatever the promo is I play, it's typically just bet X and then get X amount of credits. And like I said, I make sure I do low bets to make sure I have low variance. And I think I play relatively fast blackjack, so if this looks fast, it's because, like I said, I played thousands and thousands of hands, so I basically know all the basic strategy. I just mess up here and there, and if I don't know the hand, I'll go on Wizard of Oz and look up the odds. But yeah, so it's gotten a lot better this session. As you see, I was now at plus 32. In the session, I remember hitting a lot of the doubles and a decent amount of blackjacks. I know the dealer got a few amount of blackjacks as well. So, but if they get blackjack and you get a blackjack, you're a net profit because it's 3-1 or 3-2. So, you'd be a net profit. He'll always split aces. But it didn't work on the session. Lost $2. Always split aces and eights. That's what I remember. Over time, like, it just becomes second nature to know what to do and what hand, when to double, and all that stuff. Oh, this is another hand I mess up in. It's like one of these, you're supposed to double. It's the best EV to double in the situation rather than just stand. And I don't know why. Sometimes I'm going like quick in this session too, because I knew I was recording it, so I wanted to go as fast as possible. Sometimes like on hands like that, like even if I've seen them a bunch of times, I'll reaffirm my thoughts by double checking the website to make sure it's the correct play, because it doesn't really matter too much because it's only $2 a hand, but it's like learning for the future and making sure you won't mess them in the future. Yeah, so basically, like I said, this session, it was bet 200. Oh, there's another hand where I was contemplating whether or not what to do, because I was thinking maybe I should split, and then no, it's supposed to just hit. And this is what happens. I'll think it through. It's never a problem to you have an infinite amount of time, but it is good to go as fast as possible, because I usually think of it as like money per hour, and in this case it would be $20 in 15 minutes, which would be $80 an hour. And so that's great. Imagine making $80 per hour. Obviously you can't have these promos all the time, so you can't make $80 per an hour, but the faster you are, the more it makes sense to do these promos, because you're making more money per hour. Oh, and I finished my wager here. See, like, so when I finish the $200 wager $200, it gives me $20 in credits, but you have to play through those credits. So that's why I'm still playing. And right here is like, I really don't like to split 8s versus 9, even if it's the correct play. I'd rather just lose the hand. If there was surrender, I would surrender. But thankfully, like I actually like made out +4, and actually I like to screenshot hands like this because they're just interesting to me. And actually, like, if I didn't hit on the third on the 12 and bust, I would have lost everything. Not that that matters, because I'm always trying to do the right play, but it's just interesting to me. And this was another hand. Just like I said, it's never a bad idea to double check. Yeah, and we're coming towards the end, and so like I actually made a decent amount of money in this session. Like I said, my EV was supposed to be just plus 19, and look, I'm actually at plus 65 right now, which is like really good. And that's just blackjack though. It's not like a high variance, but there's medium variance because of the odds. It's just like how many doubles you get, how many blackjacks you get. I should say opportunities to get double and stuff like that. So that's just what it is. So in gist, that's basically all I do. I just play the promos, make a bunch of money because it's positive EV. Just look at EV, and that's basically it. I played a few extra hands because I messed up. I keep track by. Yeah, I messed up here.